And that big decision on just who will become Kamala Harris's running mate could be just hours away. And as we all know, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has been on her list. It's arguably the biggest decision of her political career. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the WHAS 11 Night Team. I'm Doug Prophet. The New York Times and others reporting tonight that Harris is expected to reveal her running mate tomorrow morning. Sources tell ABC News Harris met one-on-one this weekend with three top contenders: Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. An announcement has yet to come. Harris is expected to appear on stage with her pick in Philadelphia tomorrow night, and that will kick off a blitz through several battleground states. Meantime, Donald Trump has one rally scheduled this week, but his running mate J.D. Vance is following Harris's travel every step of the way. Vance has rallies scheduled in the same states on the very same day. Meantime, let's talk about our governor. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is still in the mix as a potential running mate for Kamala Harris. One person close with the governor told our Isaiah Kim Martinez not to count him out until the final decision is made. Beshear spent the morning right here in Louisville speaking at this summit for the National Conference of State Legislatures meeting in Louisville. He ended the day at a fundraiser in Chicago. Former U.S. Congressman John Yarmouth, a friend of Beshear's, gave us his take ahead of the big decision.
And Andy certainly has the vitality that I think would appeal to a younger voter in the country.
So it's going to be a big day tomorrow. Stay with WHAS 11 News and ABC closely tomorrow. We'll have complete coverage of the big decision. Now, right here tonight on the Night Team, moving day finally for residents of the troubled Metro housing complex Dosker Manor near downtown, and it couldn't come soon enough. One of the major buildings there lost power over the weekend in this sweltering, humid heat. WHAS 11 Night Team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie were invited in by one resident tonight, happy for a new place to stay. Taylor?
Well, Doug, Donald Neefus is one of dozens of Dosker Manor residents who volunteered to be relocated to better housing. His new place is the first time he has lived in healthy living conditions in a long time.
Box by box.
This place is like heaven, yo.
Just hours after being relocated from Dosker Manor to the Lord's Hall on Eastern Parkway, Donald Neefus finally has a place he's now proud to call home.
It's a lot cleaner and it's a lot better in Dosker Manor. The Dosker Manor has gone down here a lot.
Neefus is one of many Dosker Manor residents who volunteered to be relocated to other housing as Metro Housing Authority plans to demolish the 56-year-old building. He'll miss the 12th floor view, but nothing can compare to the clean space he now has.
I loved it. It's a lot bigger and it's homely, you know, it's home to me.
Over the years, Dosker Manor residents have been living in poor conditions like mold and bed bugs. Just this past week, another one of the largest buildings lost power for nearly 2 full days after a sprinkler burst. This move helps Neefus and his wife smile since their son is fighting terminal cancer. He says he's not looking back, even if better housing is built on Dosker Manor's property.
For right now, no, because after I get stuff was right here, it'd be fine.
More than 500 residents live in Dosker Manor, and the goal is to get every resident moved over the next 12 to 18 months.
Right now, we're in the voluntary relocation phase for residents at Dosker Manor, and we can tell you today that a couple dozen have moved out of Dosker Manor already.
Metro Housing Authority has been moving quickly as possible, relocating residents who live in Building A first.
It feels good when you get to see them in their new unit, and they call a better environment home.
Neefus says it took a while to get paperwork processed, but he's happy to be in his new home.
It happened, you know.
And Louisville Metro Housing Authority says every week it varies how many Dosker Manor residents are moved. It all depends on what they qualify for certain housing and where residents choose to go. In studio, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
And he's right, Taylor. Thank you. It is great to see. Well, it's going to be the most important first day for JCPS in decades. Call it the rebound year. They are hoping and planning to make quick history of last year's transportation disaster. And the big test, of course, is this Thursday, August 8th.
Our drivers feel confident. Our compound coordinators feel confident. Our routers feel confident. We feel confident.
It is going to be the first big test of the district's brand new transportation plan, which eliminates buses for most magnet and traditional schools. A group of families has challenged that plan in federal court, and we're still waiting for a judge's possible decision on a possible restraining order. Superintendent Marty Polio says with the changes this year, they actually have more drivers than bus routes. There's also fewer school start times, and they're designing routes in-house instead of using the AI tool Alpha Route.
We just can't say from an outside company that this is the most efficient thing if we're losing bus drivers or having issues with students in schools because we're not mirroring.
District leaders say practice runs have drivers finishing at about 6:20 at night. That's on a regular night, but coming up for the first day of school this Thursday, they do expect the drop-off to be closer to 7:30 for the last student. There are still 54 TARC drivers in training to become JCPS bus drivers, which the district hopes will allow them to restore several more routes. The school board will officially decide that at its August 20th meeting. Well, with the return of school also comes concerns about an increase in illnesses. The Centers for Disease Control says COVID-19 is surging across the country again this summer. COVID levels in Indiana and Kentucky remain pretty low right now, but experts at U of L Health say that could change with thousands of students heading back to the classrooms this week. One infected student can interact and possibly infect dozens of other students over the course of a school day.
We're asking people who are ill to stay home. If, let's say, you've been ill, but you feel better, making sure that you don't have a fever, coming into school, whether it be student or teacher, coming to the schools with fever and those types of things.
Well, in order to close the gap on the spread of COVID-19 and other respiratory illnesses, U of L Health is once again stressing if your student is not feeling well, just go ahead and keep them at home. A very hot day turning into a warm night on this Monday night, and Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine is looking ahead. Well, as we've been just laying it out for everybody, Ben, a very important week for people who are going to be outside.
Yeah, after a high of 94 earlier today, we still have a heat index at 88 degrees here in the city. So it is a muggy one for tonight. Very hot and humid again tomorrow. Our high temperatures here in the mid 90s. Heat index is going to climb to around 100 with an orange air quality alert for our Tuesday. And that is for sensitive groups. We are also tracking Tropical Storm Debbie and whether it'll have any impacts on our area. We'll let you know all about that coming up in our complete weather impact forecast.
All right, we'll look for that in a few minutes. Thank you, Ben. Louisville Metro Police are now looking for a car they say hit and killed a man over the weekend and then kept on going. It happened about 10 o'clock last night at 9th and Kentucky Streets. Investigators believe the man was walking north on 9th Street when he was hit. They're unsure if he was trying to cross the street. The man was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police say no other vehicles were involved. Now, they're asking anybody who may have been in the area at the time or has any information about this to call them anonymously at 574-LMPD. You can also leave a tip through their online portal. Tomorrow night is going to be your opportunity to meet your local police officers. It's part of National Night Out, held annually. Departments across Kentuckiana will host events featuring food, music, and giveaways. It's a chance to have conversations and share concerns with police face-to-face. Louisville Metro Police are going to have several locations for their different divisions. To find the event closest to where you live, go ahead and visit WHAS11.com and click on the links mentioned story. The Jefferson Rising project in downtown Louisville celebrated a major milestone today. This is a $90 million project to revitalize the Jefferson Community and Technical College's science building. This morning, crews installed the final steel beam. Beforehand, it was signed by Jefferson employees, the Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg and Kentucky Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman. The Jefferson Rising project will create a two-story science building, green space, and parking garage right on West Broadway.
What we are getting done here in Louisville is unique. It is unique because we are listening and learning from one another, and we are working together to move our city and our Commonwealth forward. And that's the type of education that's happening here at Jefferson College. Learning skilled trades and learning about specific topics, but also understanding what it means to listen and learn from one another.
Once finished, Jefferson's reimagined downtown campus will reshape the entrance to downtown Louisville, entering from I-65 at Broadway.